Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to the Andrew Tate Show, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We've got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be covering the Warriors trying to obtain LeBron James. We have a $7.8 billion media rights expansion for college football. WSU's Kirk Schulz to propose the CFP leaders that Pac-12 be treated as a power conference, and make sure that you stick around for later in the show when we'll be diving into the oddities of the day. Before we start the show, I'd like to ask that you like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show. So to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. The tips and donation link is streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Tate is distracting me this morning already.
Okay, so I looked at my image on the screen, and my head was like glowing like Mr. Clean over here, and I'm like, oh no.
Like I have two computer screens, and so with the Zoom meeting, I have you over here on this computer screen, and I'm like trying to read my notes on this computer.
I'm buffing my head out.
I'm like seeing Tate do something over here on the other side.
Oh, I can't be coming in here like mopping glow and just and shining everywhere. There's enough because there's a lot of lights, and so it's like, oh. So,
Yes.
Miss Faith, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little sleepy, but I'm good.
A little sleepy. That means it was a good Valentine's Day for you.
It was a lovely Valentine's Day. After the show, me and my boyfriend did like gift exchange, and then we went and got lunch, and we ate a lot of food, kind of put ourselves in a food coma.
All right, let me hear it. You know I'm going to ask about the food too, so you can tell the whole story, but I was curious what you ordered as well. What you got?
I have no idea what my boyfriend ordered. It was it was like this
Whoopsie.
it was like this big like stone bowl just full of like different meats, and then we went to like a Mexican restaurant,
Okay.
and then he got like little cheese quesadillas with it too, and then I got a torta, which is like a Mexican sandwich basically with steak.
I've never heard of a torta, and
It was so good. It was so big though. It literally looked like they gave me two sandwiches, so I only ate like half of the sandwich that was on my plate because it was so big. And then we got home and we just sat down and watched movies. We were basically couch potatoes, which honestly, I thought it was a great Valentine's Day. I'm so busy now.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm so busy now to where I don't have a lot of downtime. And so I honestly enjoyed sitting down and watching movies and stuff. He had never seen the movie 13 Going on 30, so we watched that.
I've never seen it either.
It's so good. It's
sound
like
effects. I love the sound effects.
It's a really cute like rom-com. And then we watched, I don't even remember the name. It was a really bad like horror film. And then we also watched Pirates of the Caribbean. So it was a lovely day.
You can't go wrong with Pirates. The horror movies, I'm not a horror movie fan.
Oh, I'm a fanatic. I love them.
Not because horror movies scare me or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I feel like they're so lame. It's like horrible plot line, bad writing, bad acting, blood squirt everywhere, horrible writing, this and that.
There's some
Chainsaw,
good ones out there.
the end.
I understand your perspective, but there are some really good ones out there. I have like a whole entire list of like my top horror movies that I've seen. So
my horror movie genre starts and ends with Walking Dead. I love The Walking Dead.
I never finished Walking Dead. I think I got to about season 3 or 4 and then never finished it.
I haven't finished The Walking Dead because of my schedule is so crazy. And so I still haven't finished it, but I'm still going through and watching it slowly, very
Mm-hmm.
slowly. But then there's like 852 different spinoffs. And now I don't like, I'm like, okay, what do I do watch? Because I want to kind of watch them in order,
Yeah.
but they're like all over the place. So I have to catch up there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's my only genre when it comes to horror movies.
Yeah.
Then switching up on my side for Valentine's Day, we didn't do much of anything. We worked until
Yeah.
here late, so it was like I think we worked till like 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
So started early in the morning and then worked to 8 9, so 14, 16 hour day. Then we met up with our friends that flew in from Germany
Mm-hmm.
and we hung out with them for a few hours and then I crashed.
Yeah.
So, which was awesome. And then I was up at my normal, I think what? I
3
actually
a.m.
slept in. I slept in. So I made it to 4:05. That is like
Oh.
massively sleeping in. That's like huge for me. Um, but non-Valentine's Day, I have a confession to you today.
Okay.
I have seen the light.
You've seen the light.
I
Of
have
what?
seen, and it's not the glow off of my head. I have seen the light. I have been making fun of Beyonce and the country album.
Yeah.
I heard 2 songs off of it. I was like, damn, it's good.
Has she released stuff? I didn't know she had released stuff.
Yeah, I got to hear 2 songs and the I was like, whoa, and I really liked it. And I hate country music.
Yeah, I don't like
The
country
one
music
song
either.
I'd rather eat oatmeal than listen to country music. That's like because you eat oatmeal, you eat it because it's good for you, but it's absolutely uneventful. That's the way I feel about country music.
Yeah.
But Beyonce's, it was actually really good.
Oh, I'll have to check it
So
out then.
yeah, I've been kind of, I've been kind of like turning my nose up again toward it, and I'm like, maybe. So I had to share that part with you
Okay.
before we dive in everything. So, all right, we're a little long with the intro today.
It's alright.
Let's roll into what we got going
Okay,
on.
so the Warriors reportedly tried to unite LeBron James and Steph Curry at NBA trade deadline. The Golden State Warriors made an extraordinary attempt to unite two of the biggest rivals in NBA history, LeBron James and Steph Curry. Speculation had mounted over the 39-year-old's future with the Los Angeles Lakers after he posted an image of an hourglass on social media before the trade deadline. The Lakers are ninth in the Western Conference this season, one place above the Warriors, who are on a 5-game winning streak. According to ESPN, Warriors forward Draymond Green, who shares with an agent with James, encouraged the team to reach out to the Lakers about a possible trade. Lakers owner Jeannie Buss said the team did not want to trade its biggest star, but was open to a deal if James was determined to leave. However, after reaching out to James' agent, Rich Paul, the message came back that he wanted to remain a Laker and had no desire to join the Warriors.
Okay. First off, I'm going to start off by leading with honesty. I am a huge Laker fan. That is my basketball team. I love the Lakers. Second off, I went to college in Akron at the University of Akron, where LeBron is from. I actually have friends of mine that used to work for LeBron, no
Mm-hmm.
longer, but still. So I have a lot of, feelings on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But imagine, the trade didn't happen, and there's a lot of things you can unpack with this. But man, that would be mind blowing if they really did. Let's say LeBron said yes, and they united Steph Curry and LeBron. First off, they both started their life in the same place. Do you realize that?
Mm-mm.
They were both born in the same hospital in Akron, Ohio.
Oh, wow.
So, and then they finish their careers together. That would be nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. A lot of people don't realize that they both were born in the same hospital. So even, as a University of Akron guy, an Akron guy in general, we can kind of claim both of them, which is kind of cool. This trade, my first thought when I heard this was I was shocked that the 76ers and the Golden State Warriors had reached out. And this was kind of brought on because of some of the things. LeBron has been notorious for passive aggressive tweets and things. He never comes out and be like, you know what, I want out of here, or no, I'm not re-signing, or I'm not happy. He's very good at managing his image. And so that hourglass, everyone got to look at the tea leaves and kind of figure out like, hey, maybe he wants out. Now, part of me, when I look at it, this would have been really amazing story for having LeBron and Steph Curry and Draymond Green together. Did you notice I said LeBron, Steph Curry, Draymond Green? Because one of the big three would have had to leave. And that meant that Klay Thompson would have had to leave. In that trade, any kind of trade that was going to be proposed, it would have had to been Klay and draft picks, Klay and some younger players, something like that. So that kind of shows with what's been going on with Golden State and the fact that Klay has talked about possibly having to take a lesser role. I don't know. This conversation shows me that Klay Thompson is not known for being in Golden State. That's what it told me. It also shocked me that the Lakers didn't just squash this like a bug right out the gate and be like, are you crazy? No, we're not gonna. It took 24 hours for them to make that decision. If somebody called me up and said, hey, Tate, are you willing to sell me your wife? I'd be like, are you out your damn mind? No. It was something that matters to you.
Uh-huh.
LeBron is their franchise player. LeBron is the guy that broke the record. The fact that it wasn't like, if you go to any team right now, and if you went to, let's say, Milwaukee and said, hey, are you willing to trade Giannis? This would be a thanks for the call, no thank you. Mm-hmm. If you called the Kansas City Chiefs up and said, hey, we want to trade for Patrick Mahomes, it would have been like, ha, 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 nope, see ya. Don't you feel kind of like there's something to it? The fact that it took 24 hours? Mm-hmm. It wasn't an automatic no. It was, hey, reach out. Then they had Draymond reach out. Then Jeannie Buss got involved. And then they had to talk to the agent. Hey, is LeBron happy here? It sounds like, hey, if you're not happy, we're willing to do this. Mm-hmm. You agree? It wasn't a straight no. This is a non-starter.
Something's a little fishy.
Right. If you heard that somebody had reached out to GSMC about Faith, and they were like, well, let's talk about this. Let's give it 24 to 48 hours to think about, do we really want Faith here? Wouldn't you feel a little kind of funny? Like, hey, you didn't fight for me?
Yeah.
So I've kind of felt like, wow, there's a lot more here than meets the eye. And I know I'm kind of reading between the lines and making a story that is a non-starter. But the fact that, number one, the Lakers had to check with Rich Paul to see, hey, does LeBron really want to be here? Are you happy? Mm-hmm. It shouldn't have been that shouldn't even been a conversation. That shows there's a lack of communication there. Agree or disagree?
No, I definitely agree with that. The Lakers also asked if Joel Embiid was available when the
Oh, see now that's a
76ers called about LeBron James trade. So
now see that's kind of what I'm talking about. 76ers call and it's like, hey, are you interested in parting with LeBron? Hey, are you willing to part with your MVP all-star center? Sure, we can talk if you're going to give us your greatest player in the last 40 years and for our GOAT, then maybe we can talk. That's the reason why I didn't talk too much about the 76ers, because that was the kind of answer that you're talking about. If when you're thinking about LeBron, if the Golden State Warriors called up, you notice there's a very different conversation. Warriors call up and they're like, hey, are you interested in trading LeBron? There wasn't anything like, hey, are you willing to part with Steph Curry? No, there was nothing like that. When 76ers like, give us your all-star guy who's put you guys back on the map, last year's MVP, and maybe we can talk. There wasn't that. It was kind of like, okay, what are you offering? Let us go talk with LeBron and LeBron's agent. There's a lot more to that. Do you see the difference?
Yeah.
That's why I use the concept of the wife thing, because it's like something that you would never even consider. Or someone calls her and say, hey, you want to sell your husband or whatever. You understand it's hyperbole.
Yeah.
It's being going over the top. But the fact that it was a not like instant reaction, absolutely not.
Yep.
Shows there's a little bit of possibility there. Am I overthinking this to you?
I don't think so. I mean, LeBron James is one of the best ever, right? Greatest of all time.
One of the top LeBron's in everyone's top 1 to 4, no matter how even if you hated LeBron James's guts and you were going to say, name your greatest basketball players of all time, it's like, man, I hate him, but he's going to be in my top 4 or 5. Even if I hate it, even if he took your girlfriend when you were in 7th grade, he's still going to be in your top 5.
Yeah, so I definitely agree with you. It seems a little fishy that they didn't like
24 hours.
Yeah, they didn't automatically like, nah, sorry, we can't do that. They like ran it by him and was like, are you like, do you want to go over there, And so
that's what I said. The 76ers made sense. Hey, you going to part with Joel Embiid?
Yeah.
Okay. But it wasn't like, hey, are you talking about Steph Curry for LeBron? No, that was not even thought about. And then it still took 24 hours.
Yeah.
Had my wheels turning.
Well, I don't know.
I love how this look you're giving me, like you're getting that uncomfortable gossip. You're with your friends and it's like, ooh, maybe we shouldn't be talking about this, but I want to hear more, kind of.
Well, maybe a story will come out about that then, because you can't be the only person that's thinking that, So
yeah, it's just something that popped in my head because it wasn't an automatic like, you're gonna give us your best player or no, it's not shot down. Now it makes me realize, like, one, where are the Lakers thinking? Number one. Two, how happy are the Lakers and LeBron? Are they thinking like, listen, this dude's about to be 40.
Yeah.
Should we start thinking about parting ways? Do we want to? LeBron has an option at the end of this year to opt out of his contract. Granted, his contract is going to pay him $50 million next year. But the fact that there's a possibility that he may opt out, the fact that, here's another one, since Team USA, LeBron, Steph Curry, Draymond Green are going to be all kind of cozy and playing together this summer. They're hanging out. They start talking. Could that actually come up again? I don't know if this is the last time we're going to hear this conversation.
Probably not, honestly.
All right. I've covered that enough then. All right.
Alrighty, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll be discussing the $7.8 billion media right expansion for college football playoff.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier, we were discussing the Warriors trying to unite LeBron James and Steph Curry, and now we're going to be diving into the $7.8 billion media right expansion for college football playoffs. Before, though, I wanted to remind you guys to like and follow the show. Also, we get a number of questions from the viewers that come in during the show, so to ensure that your question gets read on the air, I ask that you use the tips and donation link with your question. That link is streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. This puts your question at the top of the list so that I can see it, and it also just really helps the show. Alrighty.
Okay. What you got for me, Faith?
So,
but before you start, yeah. I threw you for a loop on that whole finding out that Steph Curry and LeBron James were born in the same hospital.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's called deep investigation there.
Tate's out here doing investigative journalism, everybody.
No, his dad, Steph Curry's dad I think he was playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers at the time when they were living in Cleveland when he was born. So that's the reason why.
Crazy.
Yes.
Alrighty, well, $7.8 billion media rights expansion for college football playoffs as broadcasting giant ESPN agreement for a 6-year deal. The college football playoff broadcast is set to remain on ESPN for the next couple of years. The television network and the playoff body have reached an agreement on a 6-year deal worth $7.8 billion that runs through to the 2031 season. ESPN has held the rights to the CFP since its inception in 2014, and the existing contract extends for the next 2 seasons. The new deal is yet to be officially signed and is contingent upon CFP leaders concluding the deals of the proposed expanded 12-team format. With an annual value of $1.3 billion, the new media deal is more than twice the ongoing one in value. The current deal, set to expire at the end of the 2025 season, has an average annual value of $608 million. This undoubtedly makes a great leap for the fast-growing college football playoff.
Okay. Everyone's celebrating this deal, and everyone's like, wow, this big blockbuster deal. I was like the only person like a little surprised by it. And the reason why I was surprised at the number. I thought it should have been higher.
You thought it should have been higher than $7.8 billion?
Yes. I was expecting that deal to be at least $10 billion. And here is the reason why, Faith. Work with the Tate math today.
Let me get my
The
pencil.
current, all right, divided by 2, carry to 1. You may have to take some shoes off because we're in the billions, so you may have to count this little piggy went to market here. Okay. This doubled the value of the previous deal. Doubled it, right?
Yes.
This new deal, the old deal, the college football playoffs were consisting of 4 teams, plus the New Year's 6 games. The new deal consists of 12 teams. This is a 12-team playoff. That's double the games, plus the New Year's 6 games. So you've increased the number of games, exponentially. But you only have to pay, you really paid for 4 extra games by doubling it. You didn't double, it went from four teams, not to 8, but to 12. It tripled the number of teams that are involved, tripled the number of media markets. And just for ESPN, who was pretty much negotiating with themselves, because from everything I saw, it really wasn't open to open negotiation, because I think some of these streaming services and things like that, I think they really wanted to get this thing taken care of, but I think they should have waited and broke this thing up, because I think you could have broke this up between CBS, NBC, or ABC, or ESPN, NBC, CBS, some of the streaming services, and had these games on multiple markets. And I'm willing to bet you would have gotten, triple what the old contract was. But because they only negotiated with ESPN pretty much, ESPN was able to get way more games for a lot less. Does that math make sense to you, what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense.
You go from 4 teams to 12-team playoffs, multiple rounds, more teams, more media markets. I am really surprised that they did this.
Well, with the new streaming service that they're trying to launch with Fox and Warner Brothers, ESPN was probably trying to get this. It was in their best interest to lock this thing down. And see, that new streaming service does not make them work as a team. Yes, Fox and ESPN are going to be on that new streaming services, but they're negotiating their own deals and then sharing some of that on the streaming service. I think you could have easily gotten a third from ESPN, a third from Fox, and a third from another broadcast partner, because ESPN has the Big 12 and the SEC. Fox has the Big 10. They would have loved to have had that. I think I'm a little surprised that they've done this, because I think the college football has left a lot of money on the table. I do also look at this as, I think with everything going on with the negotiations, I think teams are trying to jockey as far as, will the college football playoffs, which here's a curveball. It's scheduled right now to be a 12-team playoff only for up to the 2025 season, but the 2026 season beyond, teams are negotiating. There's been stories that the Big Ten wants it to go to 16 teams. Well, this new deal makes it really benefits ESPN. If it goes to 16 teams, that makes it even more money. It makes it an even sweeter deal from them. So I am surprised at this. But what I do love about this is the contract was set for the college football playoffs for 2025. With this deal, college football is not going to let the college football playoffs slip away.
The college football playoff 12 or 16 team is going to be in place. And now it's just going to be kind of coming into how many teams are going to be there and what's the breakdown. What we're going to be covering the next one in the next segment is kind of who's going to get these automatic bids, who's going to be considered a Power 5 or Power 4 or Power 2 conference. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of money that is at stake that goes kind of going to roll right into our next segment. So I'm trying to hold back some of what I have to say because the two topics are so close. Mm-hmm. But man, I tell you what, this is what should have been the college. It's taken 30 years to get to the point where now we actually have a real playoff. Before, even with the 14 playoff, it really wasn't the 14. It really wasn't a playoff because now you're going to get the top teams that are in college football playing and earning the national championship on the field. I am super excited about this.
I still can't believe you think they should have given him more money. Like $7.8 billion, that's just not enough.
Oh, dude, do not sell me short. Don't negotiate with me then, Faith. I'm gonna let you know. I am not Walmart. We are, Saks Fifth Avenue. We're getting Saks Fifth Avenue money. I'm not no blue light specials. No Target, no Walmart's here.
No clearance. No discounts.
There's none of this buy one get five free kind of deal with me.
Where are you shopping? I want to know where the buy one get five free is.
You know what though? Speaking of that, here's a crazy situation. I don't know if the company is still around. It was a place called what was it? It was a suit place. They would give you tailored suits. And you could go there, you buy one suit, you got two free.
Was it Joseph Inc?
Yes, that's who it is. I don't even know if they're still around or not. But I remember they had a special and I went in there, buy one suit, get two free. And I ended up I think I closed this place down or they built a brand new building because I walked in there one day and I think I bought like 10 suits that day.
Yeah.
And got like 20 suits free. And I had so many suits that this is the true story. I was quite a wholesome boy back then, a couple of cheeseburgers away from supersize, let's just say. So I started losing a little weight and all those suits had started. I had these massive amounts of suits and I went in there and I went in there and I said, hey, listen, I bought these suits. They're a little big for me. Is there something you could do? And the store manager looked at my receipt and he said, bring them in. I brought all 30 of those suits in. This was like 2 years later, 3 years later. He had me get suited and gave me 30 brand new suits, all fitted for me. I'm a fan of that company right to this day. I don't live in the U.S. anymore, so I don't buy suits from them. But so I got the first 30. Then I changed those in, got another 30. I've been happy with them ever since then. That's my Valentine's Day love right there. Joseph A. Bank.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm shocked. I just looked, their website's still available, so they are still open. But doing that, I'm shocked that they are still in business.
I don't understand. I even did a Facebook post on it. It's like, how the heck did they do this? Let a brother wear the suits for 2 or 3 years and then exchange them for brand new suits. So I bought 10 and I kind of got like 60 free or something, like 50 free. Best company ever. Y'all endorsement. That's my endorsement for Joseph A. Bank. Y'all go give them some service because they hooked me up for.
Oh gosh. All right, guys. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about WSU's Kirk Schulz to propose to the CFP's leaders that Pac-12 to be treated as a power conference for the extended future.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Alrighty guys, welcome back. Earlier we were discussing the $7.8 billion media rights expansion for the college football playoffs, and now we're going to be talking about WSU's Kirk Schulz to propose to the CFP leaders that Pac-12 should be treated as a power conference for the extended future. Alrighty, so.
Okay. It's kind of like, oh, bless their heart.
Bless your heart, sweetie.
Washington State, aren't you just special? Okay. That's kind of like me going, I'm trying to sell my car, and there's no transmission, and I'm missing the two back tires. The Pac-12 used to be called the Conference of Champions. But the Pac-12 is missing 10 teams. They're gone.
So there's two. So
there's two.
Pac-2.
They're the Pac-2. they're like, yeah, hey, we want
Pac-Man
some of those billions. So it's only the Pac-12 only consists of Oregon State and Washington State. And they're saying you need to treat us like the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, and the ACC.
See, that's what I was going to ask you, because I thought I remember correctly. I was like, I thought the Pac-12 wasn't even a thing anymore. And when I read this, I was confused because I was like, well, everybody's either going to Big Ten or SEC now. And so when I read Pac-12, I was like...
Or Big 12 and Big 10 and Big 12, yes.
Yeah. I was like, what? I thought Pac-12 was no longer in existence.
That's kind of like the couple that broke up, but one of them don't want to admit that they're no longer together, and they're like, "Oh, we're still together." Where is he at, or where is she at? Oh, yeah, we're still together. Well, Washington State and Oregon State are trying to say, we're still a conference. Where's everybody at? They're over in the Big 10 and the Big 12.
Yeah.
And so they're in trouble because they're trying to negotiate as if their plan is, hey, we're going to be a conference again. And they're hoping to kind of hold things up and try to get an automatic bid into the college football playoffs. And what the hope is that they're going to merge with the Mountain West, which is a group of 5 conference. You have the Power 5 conferences. That's what really controls college football. And the group of 5 are kind of like, every once in a while they'll get a bid, and but they're not on the same level as far as great games. I am a big fan of the Mountain West, but no one's going to say that the Mountain West Conference is on the same level as the Big Ten or SEC. What the Pac-12 is hoping that the 2 teams will merge with the Mountain West and come back as the Big 12. And for their plans to happen, a big part of that would be if they can guarantee themselves an automatic bid into the college football playoffs, and that also guarantees that then they're getting part of that $7 billion that we were talking about in the last one. But if they do not, and they do not get an automatic bid, then Washington State and Oregon State has then de facto been demoted to a group of 5, which means all the Power 5, Power 4 conferences will get all the bids, and then all the group of 5 conferences, the Sun Belt, the American, the Conference USA, the MAC, the best team, the highest rated team out of there would only get 1 team in. But if the Pac-12 is able to negotiate and still keep their group of their Power 5 status, then it benefits the Mountain West to merge with them and maybe contend. I saw something also about this, that with this negotiation, another aspect of this is if Washington State, who is on the committee, kind of holds this up, it may work out for them because of the fact that maybe there's some play where they're hoping that by doing a tough negotiation, it will force the Big 12 to invite Washington State and Oregon State into the Big 12. Washington State is doing what they're supposed to do. They don't have much leverage. They're sticking their. You ever see like the Chihuahua? I have 2 Chihuahuas, and the Chihuahuas, they'll walk up to the biggest, baddest dog and they'll stick their chest out, and they're barking. But if that big dog decided to just pimp slap the 2 Chihuahuas, they have no shot at all of defending themselves. Mm-hmm. Well, insert Chihuahua Washington State. They're trying to stick their chest out and they're trying to bark loud, hoping that no one calls their bluff and gives them a chance to stay Power 5, even though there's only 2 teams in the and stay relevant. Because if they lose that, then they're in trouble. And these schools would lose if they lose their Power 5 status. This isn't just by name only. This means hundreds of millions of dollars for them over the next few years, because they lose their Power 5 status, no guaranteed playoff berth. Their television contract, when they try to negotiate a television contract, which is what killed them before, is they couldn't get a television contract. If they drop down to a group of 5, that television contract becomes horrible for these schools. And so they're negotiating, I commend the chancellor from Washington State for doing this, because that's his only move.
Yeah.
He has to bark and get as loud as he can and try to slow things up to the point where they hope that someone kind of gives in and keeps their status, because that's the only thing that's going to keep the Pac-2, not 12, the Pac-2 alive.
Well,
what do you say?
It was said on an interview on Tuesday, Schulz confirmed and said he's been granted a hearing to pitch the plan to the CFP Board of Managers, of which he is a member as the Pac-12's representative. It's a virtual meeting, though, so I don't know. I don't think it's gonna go well.
You didn't have to let that part out. That kind of hurt his feelings a little bit. They didn't say they were going to fly in and meet him.
No, yeah. So it's going to be a virtual meeting. So I don't. The fact that it's going to be a virtual meeting, I don't think he's going to get what he wants. But the vote must be unanimous, giving Schulz leverage over a significant decision as to the format over the next 2 years.
You just said it. The vote has to be unanimous.
Yeah.
There's his play. He's on the committee. The vote must be unanimous. He's never going to vote to say, oh no, toss our butts out of here. You know what I mean? So that's why he can ask for these grandiose things. And to be honest, I'm making slight of this. I hope that it works, because college football is just, sometimes I can be a traditionalist, and I think it's sad what happened to the Pac-12 because they did not negotiate their contract, because George Kliavkoff, as their commissioner, performed so poorly in his duties, my opinion. But he performed so poorly that they didn't get a contract. They tried to stay together. All those teams tried to stay together. Then USC left. Then everyone else, the four corners, went to the Big 12, then Oregon and Washington. And then it left Washington State, Oregon State, Cal, Stanford. And then Cal and Stanford pulled off their miracle and got to the ACC, leaving them with just these two teams. It's sad to see the Pac-12 go. I hope they pull this merger off fast. I feel like I'm a little surprised that the Pac-12 and the Mountain West didn't say, as soon as college football season was over, press conference, the Mountain West and the Pac-2, not 12. The Pac-2 and the Mountain West is going to merge together and become the new Pac-12.
Right.
I feel like that should have been the first step. Create the new Pac-2, then go in there and negotiate, and then you're like, listen, we have Boise, we have Nevada, we have San Diego State, we have Washington State, we have Oregon State. We are a strong conference. But I feel like it really hurts them because they didn't do this. Hey, we're going to negotiate because our name is Pac-12, but there's only two people showing up.
Right.
You know, if you have a party and you're like, oh, this person's going to be there, this person's going to be, this person's going to be there, and then you show up and there's only two people here, that's a lame party. Just like that's a lame conference right now until they get somebody else.
Yeah. Party.
It is. If you think you're going to so-and-so's New Year's bash and it shows up and it says you and another person and you're over there, you got your drink and you're staring at them and they're staring at you, it's like, this is not a bash. This is not even a get together. We're just hanging out. It's just two.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That is my take on that one. But as you've seen from the first the segment before, there are billions of dollars at stake.
Yeah.
And for Washington State, they have no choice. If you don't ask, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
A closed mouth does not get fed. And when you're Chihuahua size, Pac-2, you gotta yap your butt off. Get me some of that billions.
Props to him for trying to get it. I don't, with it being a virtual meeting, I don't see it going well. You can't even do the meeting in person, So
you make it sound so bad when you're like, listen, it's a Zoom. It's not even on Zoom. It's like GoToMeeting or something like that. It's not even on
I have
Skype.
I have run meetings on Zoom before. Things don't get done as well over Zoom meetings than they do in in-person meetings, because there's a big difference. Like not paying attention, So.
But I will tell you this: Zoom meetings for me has helped me slim down a little bit. I used to do a lot of meetings. I fly in here, I fly in there, and sometimes they'd be catered and it'd be all your favorite foods. You're like, well, it's a meeting. I don't want to be rude. So I'm going to take some of this, some of that, this, and this. my guts all stuck out by the end of the meeting. This Zoom has slimmed the brother down a little bit here. Faith's like, I don't even know what to say about this. It's like,
no comment.
All right, that's all I have to say on that topic then.
Alrighty. With that, guys, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna dive into our oddities of the day. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Earlier we were talking about Washington State President Kirk Schulz proposing to the CFP leaders that Pac-12 be treated as a power conference. And now, as always, at the end of the show, we will be diving into our oddities of the day. So this story, Tate sent this one to me.
Oh boy,
yeah,
I don't even know what it is.
I got it from him via TikTok. And then he emailed some other stories about it as well. This is, I don't even know what it is yet. I don't even have words for this. So this company is making whiskey from people with diabetes urine.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I forgot I sent that to you.
You forgot about this one? Yeah.
Wait, give me the lowdown. I'm quiet. Let's hear this.
I've been trying to forget about this since you sent it to me. I mean, yeah. So while the idea of drinking human urine conjures up images of adventurer Bear Grylls relieving himself in some exotic place of the world, one British designer has taken things to the next level by brewing his own whiskey blends fermented with urine. Drawing on his own experiences living with type 1 diabetes, James Gilpin has distilled a range of whiskeys using the sugar-rich urine of type 2 diabetes. Part of his MA designer project for the Royal College of Art, Family Whiskey explores the explores the way our body produces urine and the production of high-end single malt whiskey made from human waste materials. As diabetes affects the body's ability to control its blood glucose levels, a higher concentration of sugar can be found in the urine of those who have diabetes. The Gilpin Family Whiskey website explains large amounts of sugar are excreted on a daily basis by type 2 diabetes patients, especially among the upper end of our aging population. As a result of this, diabetes patients' toilets often have unusual scale buildup in the basin due to rapid module growths as the sugar put into the system acts as nutrients for mold and bacteria growth. It is plausible to suggest that we start utilizing our waste purification systems in order to harvest the biological resources that our elderly already process in abundance. The
I don't blame
first
you for
donor,
stumbling on this one.
yeah, the first donor was his grandmother, which allowed him to get the ball rolling and iron out any kinks in his process ahead of wider production.
Whoa.
Listen.
Whoa. Can I? Look, I got to dive in here, Faith, for a second here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, first off, I'm thinking about the name of it. You know, it's not like Jack Daniels or Fireball or anything like that. It's Grandma's Pee.
It's just family whiskey. Ooh.
And it's like grandma just squatting over a bottle. What is it? You know, this dude, I'm sorry. Again, sometimes you got to drop an elbow on somebody's face. Sometimes somebody needs to whoop his butt.
Yeah.
Hey, grandma, I need some of your pee. I need to make some brew out back. Talk about witch's brew. How twisted of mind are you that you're like, hey, I'm going to take grandma's pee. Wait a minute. Now hear me out, Faith. We're going to do this. We're going to take grandma's pee. We're going to brew this up into something delicious. No, the hell we're not.
I don't use the word delicious when you're talking about
Don't use any drink
fermentation.
out of grandma's pee. Am I wrong on this?
No, you're not wrong. I can't. Okay.
It's worse if it's grandma's pee. Cousin Becky, no, we don't want her pee either.
Listen, I'm not a whiskey drinker. I don't like whiskey, period. But I'll drink it if it's there. If that's the only thing that's available. But this makes me not want to drink whiskey at all now, because it makes me wonder what whiskey has urine in it and what whiskey does not,
This makes me not want to drink water.
And
This dude is brewing up pee shots.
Guys, go outside and touch some grass. Do something. You have to have too much time on your hands to figure out that you can make whiskey from type 2 diabetes urine. You got too much time.
This is a dude that needs a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And you know, and if he don't have you say you think he has a wife?
I said, let's see if he has one. I'll look.
If you have a wife, dude, spend more time with your girl. Take her out on the town. It was just Valentine's Day. Use some of the money you made off the pea whiskey and take her out and spend more time with her, because you are making booze out of grandma's urine.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's just no.
Yeah.
That may be. Talk to me, Faith. You're at the next New Year's Eve party.
No.
The ball's about to drop.
No.
And someone comes around. Everyone get your shot glass together. Everyone's fun. And then you do your shot, and you realize that's grandma urine whiskey. That party, I'm fighting the person that serves me grandma whiskey. Exactly. It makes you want to throw some shots, drop an elbow, right?
No.
But okay, as a guy
I would try to figure out how to make a lawsuit out of that and sue the crap out of that person that gave me whiskey made out of urine.
Absolutely. But I could see that stuff being popular, though. I started thinking about it by inner teenage, inner college student. Hear me out, Faith, and tell me you can't see this happening. Just hear me out. I used to live in a fraternity house, and couldn't you see somebody, that one twisted-minded dude in your fraternity? Hey, guys, let's do shots. Feeling everybody shot up, everyone's pounding, and at the end of the night, I got you. I had grandma's pea whiskey. Am I right? It's kind of like if you look at TikTok, TikTok is full of, that Pocky one chip challenge, the world's
That's
hottest chip.
hospitalizing people. Yeah.
Yes. Well, there's a bunch of people, they sneak with their boyfriend or their girlfriend. They get a bag of Doritos or some chips and sneak in one of those chips and like, oh, baby, here, you can have some of my chips. And then they eat that chip and then their mouth is on fire. They're going, it's horrible. Well, you can't see a group of guys being together and it's like, hey, let's do a shot. And everybody getting a shot, and then the guy tells them, this whiskey was made out of pee, grandma's pee. Tell me you can't see a group of guys doing that.
I'm sure I could, but I won't be hanging out with those people. It does say here, though, that the whiskey is no longer available to purchase. So you can't.
Grandma's all peed out then? The fact is, did you just hear what you said, Faith? Think about what you said. It says here, sorry to imitate you, the whiskey is no longer available for purchase. The fact of the matter is, it used to be available
it was
for
at
purchase.
one point.
You understand what I'm saying? You hear the words coming out of my mouth? And once upon a time, you could buy this whiskey. Oh, I'm upset. I would be upset. You're doing shots and everything. You're having a party at the time of your life, and then they drop that news on you.
No. I'll take that bottle and smack him right in the head.
That's the number one reason why I don't want to be an astronaut. You go out into space, they recycle all the pee and everything, and you got to drink it as water.
I didn't know that.
Oh, hell.
Honestly,
yes.
Tate, I would rather die of dehydration than drink my own pee.
Right.
Or anybody else's.
That's why I don't want to be an astronaut, because when you're out there, there's not a water fountain. Where do you think the water comes from? There's a little container, and but the rest of the stuff, it gets converted into, it gets filtered out and cleaned out, and then it goes back into the system.
No.
If you go to Mars and you're staying, you one day when you go to Mars, everyone has to live. They got to recycle that stuff. Everyone's going to be drinking grandma whiskey and recycled pea water.
Nope.
I messed you up. First off, you didn't think grandma's pea whiskey was going to turn into going to Mars, first off. And then the fact is, you didn't realize that they recycling things
I didn't know that.
Space station. Yes.
You don't think about that kind of stuff, You just, wow, they're in space. That's cool. You don't think about, how they get their water or their food,
That's why they're drinking Tang.
I could have gone my whole life without knowing that information.
They gotta mix some Tang in there so to take the pee things off.
Why is everybody drinking pee?
All right, Faith. All right, then. I'm going to break some news to you. Most likely you've already drank pea water already. A lot of those sewage treatment plants, they take it, they clean everything out, and then they pump that water back into...
I don't need to know that.
The reservoir, which then
I don't
eventually
need to know that.
goes on down back into the tap.
I don't need to know that. I could have gone my entire life without knowing that. In my head, the water I drink comes from, I don't know, the clean water factory. I don't know. I didn't need to know that.
So you didn't need to know that food was banned in Europe and other countries, that some of your favorite foods are banned. And now you can't even wash those snacks down.
Tate is constantly breaking my heart, guys. Constantly breaking my heart.
I am so sorry. And
all
not
right.
all at the same time.
Well, guys, we're going to close out the show with that. If you didn't know, you probably have already drinking pee, apparently. So, ignorance is bliss. I could have gone my whole life without knowing that.
So
Anyway.
Go ahead.
I was going to do the outro, so if you want to add anything.
I was just going to say pee out instead of peace out, pee out.
How original. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning into the Andrew Tate Show, presented by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace out.
Peace.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great.